Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Dead Malls, your one-stop shop for malls, retail, and everything in the details. Tonight, as we come to the conclusion of our great Season 5 adventure, we come to with our final mall. Now, as many of you know, it was originally going to be Century 3 Mall. However, as that has sort of become a legal nightmare, I decided I didn't really want to get into any of that yet, so don't you all worry, we will come back to C3 eventually, but first, I needed to head over to my local mall. Over the course of the last few years growing this channel and sightseeing across the country, I've gone on to see hundreds of malls, some of which have been far more exciting than others, but there was always one small mall in my home state of Iowa that nagged at my attention. One I covered long ago in Season 2 that was deserving of so much better. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we will be taking a look at and telling the story of Cedar Falls' very own College Square Mall, a historical landmark for the city, one that has seen triumph and success, and in time, downfall. So, as we round out this great adventure, let's head into, tell the story of, and see, one last time what the square has to offer us. Now that we've got our coats hung up, amazing feature right there by the way, we are ready to see this beautiful mall. And this footage you'll see is all from September 27th, just a day before I'm doing this voiceover. And what you'll see, or hear, I guess, are a lot of the natural sounds of the mall. Just how quiet it is. One of the nice things about doing these solo ventures is that I'm able to capture the mall in a raw sort of sense. So sit back, pop your quarter into the massage chair, and let me tell you the story of this quiet beauty and how it came to be. College Square Mall's story begins over 55 years ago in the city of Cedar Falls, Iowa, the neighbor to the much larger and already well-established retail hub of Waterloo. By 1968, regional shopping malls were beginning to pop up in every Iowa community, peaking 25,000, and Cedar Falls would be the next to join the trend. Soon, Iowa-based mall developers General Management, later GGP, would choose a site in the city for one of their shopping malls, to be fed by the city's growing population, and to catch some nearby population from Waterloo, College Square Mall would be conceived as the largest mall in Iowa, and the sister mall to three others in the state built by GM, those being Muscatine, Marshalltown, and North Grand Mall in Ames, all opening around the same time. As 1968 began, the land was cleared and bulldozed over. Soon construction would begin, with an opening date scheduled for later the next year. Aptly named after its nearby University of Northern Iowa, College Square Mall neared completion, and its residents waited in eager anticipation for what would become the biggest shopping sensation in the city. Down here in the old Yonkers wing, or current Ashley wing, I guess, you have what would have once been a lot of the mall's fancier brands. Eddie Bauer, Express, American Eagle, and Victoria's Secret. Of course, sprinkled in with your more average small mall names, Hallmark, Vanity, and B. Dalton. Now, almost all of these once traversed storefronts sit abandoned, hiding behind curtains, as is College Square's way of dealing with most of its troubles. On November 12, 1969, Matthew and Martin Buxbaum, brothers and co-developers of the new mall, would gather around eager crowds of residents, mayors from both Waterloo and Cedar Falls, and finally cut the red ribbons allowing shoppers inside. What shoppers discovered was a breathtaking, beautiful take on the shopping mall. Laid out across one story, the mall consisted of anchors Woolco, Yonkers, and Montgomery Ward on each end, while featuring dozens of shops and stores between. Those consisted of Zales, Big Boy, Baskin-Robbins, Kinney Shoes, Hickory Farms, and Joann, to name just a few. The mall also featured junior anchor Woolworths near Montgomery Ward, which wasn't a strange sight to see back in the day, as both Woolworths and their big box spinoff Woolco were thriving brands. The mall itself aesthetically was something otherworldly, not yet seen in small-town Iowa. Betwixt its anchors lie an expansive garden-like atmosphere with trees, tropical plants, and a massive flowing waterfall, with a bridge to take its guests across the expanse, a feature which would quickly win over the hearts of the city. College Square upon opening would instantly be faced with competition, as the nearby Crossroads Mall in Waterloo would open that same year in 1969, with the latter being much larger in a vertical sense. As the years would go on, the mall would begin its life, quickly winning the city over, and while the nearby Crossroads always seemed to cast a shadow over College Square, Cedar Falls would see a much larger suburban growth thanks to its mall. Throughout the 70s, not much would really happen to College Square. It would thrive and excel as its city built up around it, and it wasn't really until 1980 in which the first controversies would begin. As we take a quick pause on our history, we come to what is easily the mall's best feature. Now, I'm not sure if this was the same fountain from the mall's opening in a sort of modernized way from 2006, or if it's a different water feature altogether and a bridged waterfall was elsewhere. Whatever the case, this was easily the most beautiful area in College Square. Anytime I'm here, I usually find myself ending up down at the fountain. It's just so peaceful. So I'm gonna go silent here for a bit and let you guys enjoy the mall. See it as it was on a beautiful skylighted sunny evening. I hope you were all able to enjoy the fountain. It's something I always love sharing with new people. Down here in the old Woolco/Walmart wing, you have some of the mall's saddest sights, as there's not a soul around, no stores and no radio, just the echoing roar of the waterfall bouncing down and back through these corridors. While walking through, there were a couple of older gals who happened to stumble across each other while mall walking, and them greeting each other was just about it. Other than them and a few lone stragglers hustling between the main entrance and Von Maur, College Square was completely dead. In 1980, General Growth, now with a mounting number of mortgages on their dozens of malls, would attempt to sell off College Square, along with 9 others. This would turn into a whole lawsuit, but ultimately College Square would go into the hands of Rouse Properties. In 1982, the struggling Woolco would close, with the first of the mall's major anchors going dark. While not a detrimental loss, quickly replaced by the up-and-coming Walmart name, College Square would begin to fill up with your more modern names. Casual Corner, Claire's, Musicland, to name just a few. However, mall walking programs and weekly concerts becoming tradition just wouldn't be enough, as the struggling Montgomery wards would close in 1985. Yonkers would move from their central anchor into the old Montgomery wards, and Peterson Harn Von Maur would become the mall's new third anchor after moving into the central anchor spot themselves in 1987. The addition of Von Maur would see the mall go through a massive $10 million overhaul renovation to bring it up to modern standards. New skylights, neon signage, planters, and a brand new fountain in front of Von Maur would skyrocket the mall's popularity, becoming the second largest employer in the entire city. This was arguably the peak of College Square. By the late 80s, it was home to the hottest brands and busied about by thousands a day. And for over a decade, the mall would continue to thrive. However, the glory years couldn't last forever, and as the new era neared, the mall unknowingly was winding down. What the hell is going on over here? Oh, he's vacuuming. That vacuum cleaner sounds like a chainsaw. Interestingly, while all of the old Walmart entrance was covered up and drywalled, this hallway still retains this classic white brick wall. What was at one point I assume the old Woolco facade, but you guys would have to let me know down below. Has this brick always been here? As we come down towards the theater, we come to with a little bit of the mall's hidden history. Not listed anywhere else in articles or blogs, College Square Cinemas opened in 1970 as a twin theater attached to the mall through this back wing. Over the years, however, the theater would be expanded, tripled, and quadrupled by the 80s. It wasn't until new ownership in 2004 in which the theaters would be expanded once again to 8 screens, and then once again in 2008 to 12. Currently sitting as the largest theater complex in the city, and really the only one, now owned by Marcus Theaters, I truly do believe these theaters will outlive the mall. How will they be kept around? I don't know, but it's always a joy to see them. In 1999, the mall would manage to secure a Scheels sports store in its former junior anchor spot once occupied by Walgreens. Scheels taking up a pretty big amount of floor space would warrant the construction of the mall's current entry wing. As 2000 came and went and the new millennia began, College Square was going into the new era on shaky ground. The mall was still busied about by its residents, don't get me wrong, but it was clear changes needed to come as the city changed around it. By 2002, the Viking Road development had begun, which would be the city's first major retail development since the mall itself, and in many ways the downfall of the mall itself. In 2003, Walmart, seeing the potential in getting out of the mall market, would close and move to a new supercenter at Viking Plaza, a move that would see the mall's foot traffic plummet. By December of 2004, College Square, along with several other Iowa malls, would be sold to Illinois-based GK Development. GK would manage to secure a nearby Hy-Vee grocery store into the old Walmart space in late 2005, which would be heavily remodeled and cut off from the mall concourse. Under the wraps, however, GK was planning a massive renovation to the mall, a renovation to bring it up to that modern standard. Would it be enough to save the mall? As 2006 neared, GK raced to finish their renovations, eager for their answer. What was this red and black storefront? I swear, every Midwestern mall I go to, I see these storefronts. Was it a Glix, or was it one of the Transworld music brands? Sam Goody, Suncoast, Musicland? Let me know down below. In 2006, College Square Mall would officially reopen, and what those who stumbled back in found was, in my opinion, a beautiful modern paradise. GK was somehow able to scrape the edge of renovation blandness, while also keeping several interesting and beautiful aesthetics. The waterfall would be redone, as well as new lighting, flooring, and restrooms. I said it before in a past livestream, but College Square really has an interesting old mall feel. It feels like it really is stuck in 2006. Brands to open back up with the mall included Bath & Body Works, Who Hot, B. Dalton, Gadzooks, and GNC, among several others. Going forward into the Great Recession, though, College Square would once again begin to die. As less and less stopped by to say hi, more and more brands were going awry. Those neon-lined names in the very end of their lives, Sam Goody and Gadzooks among several others, would close, and as Viking Plaza continued to thrive and grow, College Square was left to stagnate and die. As we come down towards the other end of the entry wing here, you'll see just about the only life this mall possesses. And you know when it's bad when you can count the amount of stores off of one hand. You've got Claire's, obviously, Who Hot, which isn't really a mall tenant, and Via Italian, and that's it. There was originally a Lark Brewing Company, but that also recently just closed, and their homemade brew station inside of this old US Cellular on the left always cracks me up because it looks like a meth lab in a mall, and it's gonna break my heart the next time I go and I see these pieces gone. In 2013, Scheels, with their slowly declining sales in the mall, would leave for a brand new store at Viking Plaza. This was a detrimental blow to the mall's foot traffic, as the less traveled Yonkers wing essentially relied on Scheels, and would become a ghost town without it. The space would ultimately be divided up, with the front-facing portion going to a brand new Planet Fitness, and the mall portion going to a Salon Academy. By 2016, the dying mall would be sold to the slumlords everyone loves to hate, Namdar, who still retains current ownership. In Namdar's hands, Yonkers would close in 2018, with the last of the mall's OG anchors gone. Now with just a Von Maur and a struggling handful of tenants, College Square began to take the shape you see today, a lifeless void left in 2006. While the inside of the mall may be pretty fascinating, I feel like it's also worth mentioning the outside. During the '87 remodel, several new neon signs were strung up around mall entrances, and the big sign on University was put up. And I can guarantee you all of the money in my pocket, which is like, hang on, $3, that if they were to turn on those neons, revamp them, and put the tubing back in the highway sign, that College Square would at least be recognized by more people. I'll just never understand why neons are taken out in the favor of other lights. Sure, they're expensive, but the ways that you can work neon and the magic that their presence brings is just unmatched. In 2021, Ashley Home Store would completely renovate and revamp the old abandoned Yonkers, opening as the mall's new second anchor in 2021, a move that I did not see coming but have absolutely loved. Seeing new life in College Square and the fact that it actually opens up into the mall, unlike Hy-Vee, makes it a true anchor store. Probably one of the only times I've seen an Ashley as a mall anchor. But that brings us up to where we are today. There currently sits no plans for College Square, and as you're watching this video now, the mall still operates almost in a frozen state. My final PSA for you all this evening as we come to with the end of College Square is, if you ever do visit, do not try to use the hurricane machine. Me and my friend tried it one time and it literally just ate her $5 bill. And there's usually nobody in the security office, so just be warned, it doesn't work. So what do you think the future holds for College Square Mall? Can this historical mall make a comeback and thrive? Can it be revamped to become a new community hub again? Let me know what you think down below. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching tonight's episode. College Square was an absolute blast to recover, and I'm curious to see what the future holds for this place. If any of you are ever in the area, stop by College Square, walk the halls, toss a coin into the fountain, and maybe you'll even see myself make a cameo, considering I'm at this mall almost every day. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure being your host throughout this season. Going on adventures together, telling stories, and making new friends has been the greatest joy of my life, and I cannot wait to see what the future has in store for us. Next week, be sure to join in to see the promo for Season 6, which is going to be an even more exciting and thrilling adventure than anything you've seen here yet. So, as I walk you out of College Square for the last time, thank you all for watching this show, and until I see you all again, have yourselves a lovely evening, and peace out, guys. See you later.